Welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast, coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, the full CHGO White Sox crew. We got Vinnie Duber, our CHGO White Sox beat writer. You can follow him at Vinnie Duber, and the man in the middle is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. As former White Sox Liam Hendriks is telling you, give us a like. He's a White Sox in our heart forever. We didn't decline the option.
It's true.
It's true. Hit the like button and make sure you're commenting. We're going to have a fun little exercise here. We're going to also talk about the Rookie of the Year awards that were announced yesterday. Oh, yeah. We're going to go to Midtown.
Let's get physical.
And get it physical. I'm going to react to the Rookie of the Year awards that were announced yesterday. We're also going to be talking about Manager of the Year. I don't know how in-depth those discussions will be, but the main topic, I feel like, will be fun. We are going to be ranking the White Sox players based on their trade value.
Okay.
So we've been talking about, all of the options, the smorgasbord of options Chris Getz has, a bevy of options that he has to pick from. And it seems like really anything is possible outside of trading Luis Robert Jr. And even then, you're like saying, there is still that 1% where they could trade Luis Robert Jr. So we're going to try to figure out where these players rank, because also I feel like a good cap, and maybe this is where we'll start, Juan Soto, if he's traded, more valuable than anyone in the White Sox, right?
No.
No,
of course not. Juan Soto's a free agent after next season.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
I mean, if it's player versus player, yeah. But it's not, because the contract with Luis Robert makes him much more valuable than Juan Soto.
Absolutely, yeah.
No?
Okay. No, I mean, hey, we'll talk about it, I guess.
Okay.
Before then, I guess, I don't know if you're wearing the hat of San Diego. I don't know if you want to bring up Peter Seidler.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have any attachment to San Diego, but I know you lived there for a bit.
Oh, yeah. That man is a probably what you want as a fan to be for the owner. I mean, the owner just going all out and trying to win for the Padres. And if you look at their record, you're like, ugh, he did all that spinning for that type of record. But if you look also at how well they played, and they had a run differential was in, I think, close to 100. So they just ran into some bad luck. But Peter Seidler, you cannot say on the day that he passed away, and rest in peace to him, and condolences to his family and friends, that he didn't try to win for the San Diego Padres and their fans. And the fans of the Padres will always remember Peter Seidler as an owner that was on their side. It was on their behalf. And he, I think, is the grandson of Walter O'Malley, who is the former owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers / LA Dodgers. And so he had a in there of how to own a team and how to be fan-friendly as an owner. And so it's a very sad situation, not necessarily knowing what he passed away from, but he did have 2 cases and 2 bouts, which he beat of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's why I'm wearing the shirt, too, from Liam Hendriks, who just beat that, too. And so, yeah, it's a sad day for the Padres fans and MLB baseball as a whole, because I think some people think of him as one of the model owners, even though, other owners looked at him as like, hey, man, what you doing over there? You're making us look bad. And, some of the stories at the end where he had to borrow some money to pay his players, that's fine. He took a gamble, took a risk, didn't work out, but I think every Padre fan will think positively about his legacy he's leaving on for the Padres and how they move forward.
In Alden Gonzalez's piece on ESPN, he did mention that although there was not a cause of death disclosed, the 2-time cancer survivor revealed in a statement September 18th he undergone a medical procedure the prior month that would prevent him from attending any games for the remainder of the 2023 season. So unsure at 63 if maybe it's just complications from that. So obviously our condolences to the Padres family. I don't know how to transition there.
There's no
transition
from that.
All right. We are going to talk today about the trade value for these White Sox players. And let's just jump into it. And I guess the icebreaker here is this first graphic you're going to see is what we're trying to improve upon.
This is very silly.
I guess, as Vinnie would describe, this is very silly. In the bottom right corner, you could see these are the values, the median values of White Sox players on baseballtradevalues.com. We are going to try to rank these 16 players a little bit differently, maybe a little bit more accurately, because, again, Chris Getz will have a lot of options to mix and match this 2024 White Sox team, whether through that trades or free agents. But just to give you a little heads up on how maybe wacky baseballtradevalues.com, the White Sox, apparently, Chris Getz could call up Dave Dombrowski, and maybe because Dave Dombrowski has a kindness or maybe a little soft spot for the White Sox in his heart, the White Sox can acquire Nick Castellanos and Bryson Stott for just Sammy Peralta. And honestly, the White Sox could ask for a little bit more. They could probably ask for some cash coming back as well. Total value negative 6.10 for the White Sox, and for the Phillies, a value of 0.
I think someone needs to unplug baseballtradevalues.com and plug it back in. Mm-hmm. Maybe take the cartridge out, blow on it, put it back in. Something's broken over there.
I don't see you making a website,
Something is broken over there.
Yeah, if I knew how to make websites, I would make one better than that one, because, oh my gosh. That should destroy the website. Once that comes up and it works out, the website should just dissolve. It's like, ugh, we even know that's bad, and just go away itself.
Well, and shout out to AJ in the chat, or Diehard, who's hanging out with us in our CHGO lounge. But also shout out to 2 new names, or at least there's sometimes an Anthony. I mean, come on, there's always an Anthony hanging out. But that purple logo, I feel like that's a little bit different. Also, Justin Velasco. So thanks for joining us, guys. We've talked about what pitchers we would go after. Hope we get Nola. That'd be great. Hey, I'd take anybody. But it doesn't seem they're gonna sign anybody with a pulse. I mean, you mentioned
they need people to pitch next year.
You mentioned Lucas Giolito.
Yes.
Even the idea of them spending $70 million on a player seems pretty shocking to me.
Sure. I mean, we'll see. I think right now, the way things stand, if they're not able to budge anything else from this roster, then yeah, probably you're not going to see a huge jump in free agent spending, even with some of the money that they've freed up already. But there are some guys on the books who, we're about to talk about, guys that could get traded, guys that make in the, what would it be, 8 figures, that if they're able to remove them from this roster, all of a sudden, not only are, you down from last year, did you cut payroll, so to speak, because you didn't bring back TA, you didn't bring back Liam, that kind of thing, but now you've gone and actively removed an obligation that you had for 2024. Maybe that does say, okay, let's replace that with some of it at the very least.
I mean, I think that one thing that the White Sox and everybody has to understand, yes, Lucas's deal might be $70 million in total, but they don't have to spend that all in one time. It will probably be in the $15 to $20 million range per year, and so it's not that big of a deal. Like, you're just replacing the money you would have spent on Liam Hendricks on an actual starter, and you get every fifth-day starter. And if Lucas Giolito was the guy in 2024 that he was in 2023 for the Sox, I think that's a bargain. No?
I'd welcome anything. Again, I would welcome anyone with a pulse. I mean, and he has a pulse. That's more than
a pulse. That's a guy that's pretty good.
So he's out of their price range.
No, not at all. Not at all.
How high do you think their budget's going to be?
I think they can get back to 180.
I will bet you
$100
again.
No.
Oh, well, they worked out for you last time.
It worked out for you last time.
I'll bet you. I'll give you a $30 handicap or $30 million handicap. I'll say it's under 150.
He's going to bet you $30 million? Is that what he said?
No. I'll give him.
Sean, I don't think you have
$30 million head start. If you think it's at 180, I think it's going to be under 150.
They're going up to over 150. They have to.
Hell no.
Just the sheer people they have to bring in. You think they're just going to have all these people just filled out with minimum salary guys on the roster?
Sarah, can you go to the one shot on me?
Oh, wow.
Oh yes. I do.
Oh, God.
I remember my bad plan where they reacquire Zach Collins, and that's the starting catcher?
Yes.
It's possible.
It's possible. And also in that bad plan, you had Elvis Andrus. coming back as a second baseman.
Possible. I mean, again, if
why spend money on Elvis Andrus when you have Romy Gonzalez there?
Who do you think is going to be their
less.
most expensive free agent on AAV, average annual value?
I think they're going to spend at least $15 million on a player.
It's Whit Merrifield, and it's $9 million. It's no way. Maybe it's $10 million. There's no way they go over $10 million.
I think
it's just my
15.
opinion. Just my opinion. Hey, I hope you're right. I hope I'm just being way too bitter. I hope I'm being way too pessimistic. I hope that we talked about your plan. I don't know if I agreed with every move of your plan. We'll hold off for that. But
what a tease.
I would welcome it. I mean, the idea of moving pieces and getting new, fresh blood in and spending money, I'm all for it. What did you see the tweet they put out today?
About?
With an empty stadium?
Oh, yeah.
Come join us in sunny Arizona. Get your 2024 spring training tickets now.
That's not necessarily them. It's the admin. They have to send it out.
It's their 50 sales people.
You don't want to watch? You don't like
people.
spring training baseball? You don't want to go watch a little Cactus League?
I guarantee.
I have to do my job
in
here.
November. Yes, it looks bleak, and we're mad at the White Sox. Guarantee you, in February, these White Sox fans come thawing out Arizona, not too bad. Let's go and see some White Sox baseball. Delicious.
It's 35 degrees outside.
I guarantee you, because we were like this last year, and I know.
Go to Candleback Ranch for the Dodgers. Who cares?
I'll miss baseball by the time January runs around, and White Sox baseball, even though it's been terrible the last couple of years. And I'll be wanting, maybe not going to Camelback Ranch because I'm not an Arizona guy necessarily, but I guarantee some White Sox fans are like, hey, that sounds good, because a lot of people are not going right now. I guarantee those tickets are going to come down.
More of a Florida guy?
I don't even like
East
Florida.
Dundee guy? Where's that? The Toronto?
East Dundee. That's that way.
Oh, okay.
You mean Dunedin, Florida?
Is it Dunedin?
Dunedin is where the Blue Jays play.
Yeah.
Watch out for Reese McGuire's car. Want to really quickly just bring up the Rule 5 deadline?
So the deadline to put guys on the 40-man roster so they cannot be selected in the Rule 5 draft, that is happening shortly. The White Sox already made their announcement. Jake Eder, as well as Christian Mena, have been added to the 40-man roster. So the 29 other teams cannot pick those two players in the Rule 5 draft next month.
And the 40-man is now at 37.
37. So they could have protected 3 other guys, but then, of course, that would have produced roster machinations later on. I don't think that's a word, but roster stuff later on had they needed to clear room for anybody they might acquire.
They would have had a DFA Sammy Peralta, and as we know, very valuable
He's on
asset.
the 40-man roster.
Right. They'd have to, if they were going to make a move. I was just making, if it was a full 40-man.
Right.
I was just picking
I'm
somebody.
just saying, had they added 3 other guys to protect, right, they would have maybe had to DFA them a month from now when they go to sign somebody or make a trade, and then there would have been an even greater risk of losing those players than there is a risk of losing them through the Rule 5 draft.
And funny enough, there was 3 more players that are now unprotected. Juan Carrera, right-handed pitcher.
He was in the Middleton trade. Is that right?
Yankees,
From the Yankees. Yeah.
Matthew Thompson, right-handed pitcher, former second rounder in the 2019 draft after Vaughn. And then Wilfred Veras, an outfielder. You can read more about this. James Fox has a very in-depth piece at futuresox.net if you do want to check that out. But yeah, I mean, not surprising that they would protect Eder. And it seems like Christian Mena, it's just the age is so appealing for Christian Mena. I mean, I think he's still 21 years old.
Well, he got promoted to AAA at the end of last season. I mean, if we're talking about this batch of young guys that they specifically acquired in those deadline deals and whether they could make their way to the major league rotation, Nick Nastrini, Jake Eder, who you just mentioned, and then Kai Busch, the other one who was in the Angels trade with Lucas Giolito, put Christian Mena in that conversation too, because he's already in AAA. I mean, he's as far along as Nastrini is just in terms of the level he's pitching at. So the guys who are going to be quote unquote knocking on the door of the rotation when next season starts, or even when spring training starts, you're talking about Nastrini. We're going to talk about him a lot this offseason. Mena's maybe a guy who should be mentioned in the same sentence.
104 innings for Mena in 2022 across AA, Advanced A, and Single A. And then in 2023, 133 innings and 2/3. Let's go.
Build him up.
And a nearly 7-year average age differential between him and AAA. So, yes, the 5.95 ERA might look tough, but it's more about having 4 starts in AAA.
Well, the sample size.
20.
Yeah, the sample size was so small there. That's more to explain that number than anything. But I think it wasn't Nestrini's first AAA start, not super great either. But yeah, those are guys that if they are taking, Sean, if they are taking the approach this winter that you think, where they're not going to be doing a lot of adding, they're not going to fill up that rotation with major league caliber guys like Nestrini and Mena are going to be the ones who are going to be competing for a spot come spring training.
Absolutely. And I'm just trying to hammer home. I mean, even Nestrini, he was born February 18th, 2000, and Mena born December 21st, 2002. So there's nearly a 3-year difference between those two. So just to put in perspective how advanced Mena is for this age. So even the numbers, even though they might not look pretty, hey, you're getting Brian Bannister, who might see a ton in this 20-year-old who's already throwing 133 innings.
And being that young, he'll be 21 when next season starts. I mean, being that young, who cares if he has to spend the whole year in AAA? You know what I mean? That means he'll only be 22 by the time that the 2025 season starts.
Right. And then he'll have 6 major league years and then be a free agent when he's 28. It sounds like Juan Soto, who you guys think is less valuable than Luis Robert?
In a trade.
In a trade. Yeah.
In a trade this offseason.
I think the player is better currently than the other player.
Both of them, though, are super heroic players.
That was nice.
Was it? I don't think it was a pretty big stretch.
I was saying boo earns.
Stretchy like gluten. Is there gluten in the bread?
No, I don't think. Well, let me read the read and see if there is.
Turner's about to answer that question for you, Sean.
I started eating Hero Bread because I have type 2 diabetes, but I didn't want to give up my favorite foods like breads, sandwiches, wraps, and quesadillas. And Hero Bread has been great for me, and I'm sure it'll be great for you when you do try it. If you need a low-carb option to fit your lifestyle or dietary constraints, the founder of Hero Bread, Cole Glass, baked 100 muffins per day.
What?
100 muffins per day.
That's so many muffins.
I wonder who ate them. That's the thing.
And what did he do with the stumps?
Before he found the perfect blend that fit his allergy constraints, that's what pushed him to start Hero Bread. The taste of this Hero Bread, I know you're thinking it's got 0 net carbs, it's only 80 calories, it tastes like garbage herb. No, it doesn't. It tastes delicious, just like your favorite flour tortilla or your favorite slice of bread. It tastes just like those pieces of bread, but much better for you. It's nutritious. As I said, it's got 15 grams of protein, 0 net carbs. This is the flour tortilla that I eat every day. And 0 net carbs, as I said, and 0 sugar, too, if you're a person like me who can limit his sugars down to a little bit.
And let me just step in real quick. In the do's and don'ts, it says, please do not say gluten-free. Hero is not gluten-free. So just to go back to what I said before the ad, it is not gluten-free. Sorry to mention gluten.
Unbelievable.
Hero makes sliced breads, buns, tortillas that are available at hero.co and at Amazon. Right now, Hero Bread is offering the CHGO fam 10% off their first order. Just go to hero.co and use our code CHGO to save on Hero Bread today. That's HERO.co to save 10% today.
We also want to let you know about our friends over at CIRCA Sportsbook. Our friends at CIRCA Sportsbook have a low hold model, which is unlike any sportsbook, which is currently available in Illinois. Games will strive to be a -110 split on the CIRCA Sports menu, unlike other sportsbooks, which may use a -115 or -110 split. And the best part about CIRCA, it's the world's largest sportsbook, and they are consistently proud of how great their odds are. They try to set the best odds possible, the most accurate odds possible, which means hopefully when you go and place your bet, whether it's on the Bears to cover 10, that you, when you place that bet, will be winning the most money possible, right? If it's -110 on CIRCA compared to -115 on another sportsbook, I was going to say the sportsbook, shouldn't do that. You'll win more money on CIRCA laying -110 compared to -115. And they're a high app limit. CIRCA does not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. And CIRCA's customer service is unbeaten. They resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use chatbots. So download the CIRCA Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for CIRCA events like the one that Brian Urlacher just attended over at Joe's on Wheat Street. If you or somebody you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537, text GMB 833-234, or visit areyourreallywinning.com. All right, let's visit the monstrosity that Baseball Trade Values gave us, and we'll go through all 16 of these players, and we can, chit and chat.
Okay. Let's fix it. Let's fix this list.
Let's fix this list. All right, Sarah. So if you want to flash that list here, we got Luis Robert, shockingly, number 1 on the list. Number 2, Dylan Cease. Number 3, Gregory Santos. Number 4, Oscar Colás. Number 5, Corey Lee. Number 6, Lenine Sosa. Number 7, Aaron Bummer. Number 8, Andrew Vaughn.
Higher.
Number 9, why the fist pump for Andrew Vaughn?
I'm just reacting.
Right.
Sarah's like pretending she's at a concert
She's
back
a big
there.
time NorCal
like
fan.
Just the lyrics come along. She's like, Andrew Vaughn, like, and then just move on, like,
Just play sound effects. See if it's just play random sound effects. We'll see if they fit. So Andrew Vaughn's 8. Number 9, Zach Remillard. Number 10, Gavin Sheets.
Oh, I see. Cash only, eh? No paper trail, eh?
Okay, all right, maybe not.
Wow, I don't know what that could have possibly been.
That's Peter Griffin.
But like,
what
why?
did he say?
Yeah. Number 11, Romy Gonzalez. Number 12, Garrett Crochet. Number 13, Michael Kopech. Number 14, Yohan Moncada. Number 15, Eloy Jimenez. And number 16, Andrew Benintendi. Before we talk about what's wrong, top 2 seems right.
Yeah, they got him.
Okay,
Nailed
cool.
it. Top 2.
All right. So is Gregory Santos not the 3rd most valuable player on the trade market in your guys' opinion?
Absolutely not.
Really?
No.
He's controllable. He's young.
hurt.
He throws 101. They don't know that.
I would actually move number 15 or number 13 to 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Because
I think.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think Kopech, Moncada, and Eloy are 3, 4, 5 in some order.
Yeah.
13, 14, and 15 should be 3, 4, 5.
Because only reason I have Moncada that low, and the reason they have it is because the salary attached to him and how he hasn't played well in the last couple of years. But thinking about MLB teams looking at Michael Kopech, yeah, the years have been bad, but they still see a live arm. They still see a project they can fix that is inexpensive to them. And so to trade for him would be nothing. They don't even have to break the bank. They don't even probably need to put a major league player in that trade to get him. So I think he's very valuable and very wanted by other teams that the White Sox are going to be out there shopping him.
Well, wait, Herb. You just said that they don't need to trade much to get him. That would be the opposite of valuable.
No, but I'm saying there's a lot of teams.
For the White Sox perspective.
I'm thinking there are a lot of teams that are out there to get him, so there'll be a market for him. There'll be a lot of market out there, but other teams, yes, wouldn't have to give out major league ready talent, I don't believe, for Michael Kopech, but there'll be multiple teams, maybe even all 29 teams that are not the White Sox, saying, yeah, I want that live arm of Michael Kopech. The White Sox are just messing him up. We can bring him in our building and our pitch lab and get him right.
I mean, yeah, the fact that the talent is there means that I think he would be desired, right? I mean, he's had success at the major league level. So many of those guys on that list have not.
Yep.
And so to be able to point to that, if you're the White Sox saying, hey, this guy could be a starter, this guy could be a very successful reliever for you. He's had some amazing performances against very good lineups. They could get some takers for Michael Kopech, no doubt about it. Thing is, he's not costing them much.
No.
And they don't have any starting pitchers. They don't really have that many bullpen pitchers either. So they don't have many pitchers. So I think they're probably better off keeping Michael Kopech because they might not get a super ton for him, Herb, as you just said. Or if they were to get even something for him, they'd probably be selling pretty low on a guy who they still think could be pretty high. So that's why I think he should be up high, just because you probably would have teams that would gladly take him in a trade. But I think probably the White Sox would be better off holding on to him.
All right, so I feel like we should focus on the hitters first because Kopech is really the only. I mean, it's Cease and Kopech and then Santos. I think
Bummer would be 6 on my list.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of teams that would want to have Aaron Bummer.
So your 1, 2, 3 is, or what?
I
Take
would
us
go.
to 6 right
I
now.
would go Robert, Cease, Moncada, Eloy, Kopech, Bummer, Crochet. Well, Vaughn, Crochet. 8. That's 8.
I think Vaughn has more value than Moncada. He's
Maybe.
$24 million. The White Sox would have to pay at least.
But Moncada
half.
has had success at the
still-
major league level. Not as much as anybody would like.
He's also got back issues.
The only thing with Vaughn is he's just a regular first baseman that who's going to look for. Like, if you have a first baseman in your system, what are you trading to get Andrew Vaughn? He's not like he's a big-time prospect that hasn't done anything in the major leagues, and he doesn't make any money, so the White Sox are going to keep him 100%. and they're not going to be driving a hard bargain for the teams acquiring him. So I would have Vaughn right where he's at. I would put Bummer lower than I would put Crochet because of Crochet's live arm, the versatility of being a reliever / starter. I think he would be probably where Bummer's at right now. If I had to put, and I like the list that Vinny put together. Besides, I think Juan, it has talent, but I would put him below where Kopech and Loy would be because of the $24 million price tag that comes with them.
Garrett Crochet has pitched 73 innings in his major league career.
Understood.
What does this talk about a starter? Because he said to you once in Minnesota that he wants to be a starter.
To be a starter.
Oh, he wants to be a starter, but he's not going to.
I want to be a millionaire.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if the White Sox want to make him a starter, then he's not going to be pitching in the major leagues for the first half of next season at minimum.
What surgery is he coming off of?
Tommy John.
Oh, that's good.
And he had some stuff at the end of last year too.
But he's thinking about his future and how much money he can get, and he gets more money as a starter.
But what's this? Is he a major league pitcher?
Yes,
I think he's a major league relief pitcher.
Yes.
You don't know if he's a major league starter. He's never started a major league game. Guess what? He's never started a minor league game either.
He dazzled us. That's true, and that's why it's just surprising that people are bringing up the starter thing. It seems like
they don't have any starting pitchers. That's probably why.
But again, like what do we see in Garrett Crochet that means he is a starter? Like it just seems like a very difficult task.
He's a good pitcher.
Yes,
and everything that comes after the but is probably. I mean,
who's more likely to start in the White Sox rotation in 2025? Jesse Schultens or Garrett Crochet?
In 2025,
Garrett Crochet.
I think Garrett Crochet would be more likely, but I don't think either of them are going to.
I'd take Jesse Schultens just because, again, Jesse Schultens has done it.
He'll be like 31, 32 by then. But it was a bad draft, I thought, because drafting a reliever that started like one start at Tennessee his whole career was bad. You don't draft relievers in the first round. But he came and did what he had to do in that first round for the White Sox, then got hurt. And then he subsequently has been hurt after that. I think, if he wants to maximize out his value, I would be telling the White Sox too, hey, man, I want to be a starter eventually. If that means me starting in minor leagues and doing all the things and getting the nice innings built up on my arm, like Christian Mano with 133 for the minor leagues, I'll do it. But the White Sox are looking at him as, hey, man, you're more valuable to us on the major league team as a reliever. I'm sure that he's looking at his future dollars. It's like, I'm a starter. I can start these games and get some money after the 7th year I'm here with the White Sox.
Yeah, and from the White Sox standpoint, you have a major league reliever. You're trying to put together a bullpen with a bunch of dudes that you tried out at the end of last year that you have no idea if they can be major league relievers. You know Garrett Crochet can be a major league reliever.
Sean does not believe that.
His whip last year was 1.974.
Why are we talking about last year? He barely played.
I know. He didn't play in 2022.
Right, you got to go back to 21. Years. Right. The guy had Tommy John surgery.
He was good in 2021.
Plus.
And he was good in 2020.
Yeah.
That was a very long time ago. I mean,
2020 was hardly
Tim
anything.
Anderson was good in 2021, and they cut him.
They did.
I don't know. I
guess I'm saying, would you rather have Garrett Crochet in your bullpen or Davy Garcia?
Yeah, I'd take Garrett Crochet, but Davy Garcia isn't on the list.
Do you trust Garrett Crochet more than you trust Declan Cronin right now to get outs at the major league level? I'm just saying, they need to build a bullpen. They need a bullpen for next season
him
also.
Him or Bummer?
I would take Bummer.
Okay.
Well,
Bummer over Crochet.
Well, they could both be in the bullpen together.
They can.
Here's my top 10. Robert, Cease, Aloy. Anyone okay?
Cease, yeah.
Kopech, Santos, Vaughn, Colás, Moncada, Bummer, Crochet.
You think that a opposing team is going to give the White Sox more for Oscar Colás than they're going to give him for Yoan Moncada?
Yes.
Oscar Colás, who can't pick up a baseball in right field.
And isn't worth
versus a guy who plays Gold Glove caliber defense at third base.
But he has back issues.
Just saying. Like he's done things in the major leagues. Oscar Colás has come up and just dropped the ball all over the place.
That's true, but he also hasn't played over 100 games. Like, I don't know.
Due to him,
It's not
his
like
own
it's
playing.
not, but it's not like
not
he
being
went,
able to play.
Yeah, it's not like he went down to Charlotte
bad
and like
White Sox
stunk
like,
it up.
"Ugh, we're a bad team, but you're terrible.
That's true.
Get your ass out of here.
That's fair. I mean, maybe I'm still a little bit too high on Colás, but also I just think the White Sox are so bad. I mean,
I get what you're saying. Like, no one's going to want that contract after the year Moncada just had, and that's fine. But I would think that even a month and a half of positive offensive numbers to go along with the defense that he always plays, plus the fact that he's had positive offensive numbers in the past as a major league hitter, is much more attractive than, hey, you know that guy who came up last year and was real bad? You know, like I get the control aspect and everything, but when you're talking about making a trade, I think the White Sox have a way better chance of getting something good for Moncada than they do for Oscar Colás.
plus both of them can play right field. So I mean, I don't know. So you would put is Colás in the top 10?
No.
Okay.
Because think about rest of the teams know that you're, for the most part, not going to be using him in the opening day lineup.
So why would he be on another team's opening day lineup?
Exactly. And why would we offer you anything else for Oscar Colás? Who cares? He's a 25-year-old outfielder that can't field well and doesn't listen to instruction well. Get off of my team.
I mean, you guys are hyping up Garrett Crochet, who is oft hurt and
He's
pretty
a
bad.
Power throwing left-hander.
But
He'll
that
have
power,
a job forever.
That power's diminished since 2020.
But he's a major league reliever that another team could trade for and say, you have a spot in our major league bullpen.
Yeah.
Another team would trade for Oscar Colás to do what? To also have him in AAA? Like they'd trade you a major leaguer just to get Oscar Colás and put him on AAA? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you've already shown your cards on Oscar Colás, and the cards are not good. They know they don't have to offer a lot for him at all because you don't want him, and they'll just be taking them off of your roster. I think Yoan Moncada, as Vinny says, still has value, has a lot of value, especially if you pay some of that money down. Oh, yeah, somebody will give you maybe not a major league ready talent, but give you something you can work with better than what Oscar Colás is going to get you in return.
Jim's proposing a fun trade, Oscar Colás for Giovanni Soto.
I think he meant Juan. Jim, did you mean Juan?
You don't want Giovanni back for another
We
go-round?
don't have a catcher. Okay, all right.
Jim will welcome Giovanni Soto back.
Have any of our off-season White Sox conversations been encouraging? No. Okay, all right, cool.
I'll take 3 colas for Oscar Colás.
Just got to stock the pop machine.
Yeah,
That's all.
Some Olipop.
Could you scroll up, Sarah, to Jimmy saying, starters nowadays only go 5 to 6 innings throwing 80 pitches. Give him a shot. Can it get any worse?
It's a fair point that you're not training the guy to throw. You could very well say we don't expect you to throw 200 innings, but he's a reliever. He has not started at all as a professional.
Right. But
I don't think his arm can do that.
I mean, he could open. I mean, the Giants were afraid to be an opener. I'm not saying that Garrett Crochet cannot start a game. I don't think he'll ever be a starter, as in going 5 to 6 innings.
He could be someday, but we know what that would require. That would require him to go through player development to become a starting pitcher. They have a major league relief pitcher right now in him. They don't know if at the end of the development tunnel they would have a major league starter in Garrett Crochet.
Well, and just to the point about him throwing, 60 to 80 pitches, Crochet in his career, 8 outings where he's thrown over 30 pitches, and he has thrown 3 of those in 2023. 35 pitches on June 13th, 41 on May 25th, and then on May 28th, he threw 46.
I mean, what's wrong with trying to make the guy Andrew Miller, right? What's wrong with trying to have the guy go out there for 2 innings every
Nintendo
time?
stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
Right.
I mean, I would love for Nick Madrigal to turn into Roberto
I'm just
Alomar.
talking about trying to do that.
And I know that you put Colás on this list, but we already talked about Mena. I'll put him higher than what Colás is.
Yeah, but we're not doing. I mean, none of these guys are major
about to say
leaguers. I mean, so then we could also talk Colson too. But I mean,
But we know that's not. He's as close to Luis Robert than Dylan Cease is. If there was a 1A and 1B, I think those two would be there.
So Colson, if you put him in this trade value rankings from baseball trade values, he is 4 points higher than Dylan. So he would be 2, Dylan would be 3.
Yeah. And
I mean, if we're going to go that route, yeah, sure.
If you're getting
but
Corbin Carroll, I wouldn't mind giving up Colson Montgomery.
you're not getting that.
No, I know, but that's that would be the price to pay.
And according to me, you're not getting Luis Robert for Corbin Carroll. Not that can even happen on the switch.
No,
Arizona's like, we're good.
Robert's worth 84. Carroll's worth like 100.
Yeah.
So, and I mean his contract's longer.
Yeah.
Significantly, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I think by 4 years.
That's wild.
Or I think it was 8 years, 111.
That's
they signed
wild.
Carroll too, and then
It's good to be rich.
I mean, I don't hate the contract. Luis Robert was 6 for 50. Pretty cheap deal.
Absolutely.
With a couple
Or wasn't it 8 for 88?
yeah, it was not
the-
matches
with
number,
the
I
options?
think. Yeah.
If they pick up the options, it'll be the biggest in team history.
What would it get up to?
88, I think.
80 something, over 80.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, 8 years for 88 million compared to 8 for 111. I mean, that's a better deal
take
for
that.
Luis Robert Jr. All right. Let's take a break and then we'll get back into this. Try to figure out more numbers. Herb, I don't think we've gotten your top 10. So why don't you throw out a top 10 and we'll try to figure out a top 10 and then we could put Benintendi last. We already have. Well, we already
Again,
have,
he would be higher than most of those people because guess what? He's played Major League Baseball for some time.
Is he in your top 10?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we
Well,
kind of have
maybe.
a framework.
He wasn't in my top 8. I know that.
We have a framework. Luis Robert Jr. is 1. Cease is 2. We want to put Eloy 3.
Yes.
And I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Colás is 11 at least. At best, he's 11, is what we've figured out.
Yeah, he's better than all the rest
not in
of
the
the
top 10.
Remillard, Sheets, and Gonzalez people.
Is he?
Oh, for trade value? Yeah.
Take a break.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then take the break, Sean. Start
Okay.
reading an ad.
Want to let you know about our friends over at Ray Chevy. I can't find the read. There it is. Okay. Want to let you know about our friends over at Ray Chevy. It's Black Friday savings time at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories. And all month long, you could save big at Ray Chevy during their Black Friday sales event, where you can choose from over 100 Silverados in stock, the perfect tailgate vehicle. But that's not all. Get 0% financing with $0 down and 0 payments until 2024. And I know everyone loves the word free, and that's why you'll get this month at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. Can I get a drum roll? A free oil change.
Ooh.
And all you need to do is mention CHGO when scheduling your oil change. It's a Black Friday offer you don't want to miss, but you have to schedule it by November 30th. So visit Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com to get your Black Friday savings. They've been serving the community since 1963. Find new roads.
You know how they did Truck or Treat for Halloween? Yeah. And that was great. Do they do Trucks Giving?
Trucks Giving.
Yeah.
I don't think it was focusing more on the day after. More on Black Friday.
Truck Friday.
Yeah. What's going to be the December one? The December. I think that's a different one.
Different company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not in advertising. Want to let you know about our friends over at Empire Today, 588-2300
Empire
today. With Empire Today, you get shop-at-home convenience, the right products for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring, and the people in Chicagoland should know that. You've been hearing that jingle for about 40-plus years. You know the name of the man in the commercial, Lynn Haldren.
Why did you look at me and say 40-plus years? I've been hearing that jingle for 33 years, Sean.
Honestly, it's just more tough to turn my neck this way.
I have been hearing it for 40 years.
But no one could beat Empire on their quality, service, and speed. Empire is a true empire in the Chicagoland area because they keep shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. Their philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitute. What they leave out of their selection is just as important as what they put into it. And you can check out their virtual floor designer. It's a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Just snap a picture and instantly see how new floors will look in your room. Shopping at floors at big box stores can be frustrating. You might want to talk to someone today who was working in plumbing yesterday. Flooring is all Empire Today does. They live and breathe flooring, so you can be confident you're getting honest, upfront advice. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details. Okay. Let's go back. Herb, you got your top 10?
I do.
Give it to me.
Robert Jr., Cease, then I would go to Loy Jimenez, then Kopech, then Moncada, then I would go with Crochet, Bummer, Vaughn, and how many is that?
8.
Then throw Andrew Benintendi and Gavin Sheets behind there. No, I'm not having Gregory Santos in my top 10. He really hasn't done it a lot. He was pretty much left off the Giants last year, so I don't think he'll fish you a lot back, even though they have him at 3. Which
Yeah,
is,
I mean, Santos wasn't
just, woof.
the one I was going to pick next with. It was definitely the left fielder you brought up. Also, Sheets versus Colás. So let's figure this out. I wrote Crochet, not Crochet. Crochet versus Bummer. I would put Bummer because of the Major League experience.
I would put Bummer ahead of him. Absolutely. I think Bummer would get you plenty.
Yeah.
Not a ton, but like for a reliever, he's as good as a reliever trade that people are going to make, even though he had a bad year last year.
He did.
I know it's very simple to just be like, oh, I'd love to see him cross town. But I would, because, I mean, they're really, one of the best defensive infields. So with that ground ball rate, with Dansby and Nico Horner, I mean, that would be pretty electric.
And they need a left-handed reliever, too, desperately.
So,
I mean, wasn't that the rumor at the deadline last year? Wasn't that reported?
Yeah. The one thing,
there
too,
was interest?
I forget who brings it up, but Bummer's not a good fielder. So another thing, too, is when you have a ground ball rate that high, you should be a pretty good fielder. And that's one thing that does hurt him, too. So I don't know. I don't know if people...
I don't know how you cannot be a good fielder at pitcher.
He's not a Dallas Keuchel level defender.
Like,
He's
you
on
don't have to
Mark
be
Buehrle.
great. You could just be adequate. Pick the ball up, throw it to first. You do that all the time.
Remember when Jon Lester couldn't do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That guy's going to the Hall of Fame.
And then he picked off a dude who was like, it was a Tommy Pham, who was like gone off the base way too much because Jon Lester never threw over to first. He's like, all right, surprise, motherfucker. And throws over to first and gets him out. But yeah, he is going to Hall of Fame, 100%.
Yeah, Tommy Pham. I thought it might have been our friend John Jay.
Future White Sox, Tommy Pham.
But like 4 years from now.
No, like this offseason.
No way. You guys think they're spending way too much money.
Telling you,
They're sending Whit Merrifield and Paul DeYoung.
These are the type of free agents the White Sox are going to get that
Tommy Pham's too good.
he's not that good.
He's fresh
good at-
off
he's
the
way too
World
good.
Series, man.
That's what they're going to look at. Man, look at that World Series performance. And we're going to get actual Tommy Pham, the Tommy Pham that showed up in San Diego. That bad dude. Not the good dude that showed up in Arizona.
Tommy Pham's going to make like $12 million. That's too expensive.
The White Sox are going to pay him more than that. I guarantee it. Mark it down, Sean.
You guarantee it?
Mark it down.
You
That's
had
the type
you had Joey Gallo coming to the White Sox. Where's
last
he?
year. Not this year.
Last year. Yeah, that's what I'm
Last year.
saying. I'm saying, where is he?
Sean's saying your guarantees are not worth much. Herb.
Yeah, this
I
is
didn't guarantee Joey Gallo last year.
Hey, Jim, I don't know what point this is in the show, but his guarantees aren't worth as much as Empire's.
Hey, I did say, two
saying?
things I
They service
guaranteed
their own
last
warranties.
year. I said that Amad Rosario is better than Tim Anderson. You disagreed. That turned out to be right. And I said that Lopez is better than Lance Lynn. Boom. 2.
Okay.
Dunk you.
You also, I remember you paying me $100 for Andrew Benintendi.
Yeah, I did.
And the other thing, too, is who's getting paid more this offseason, Ahmed Rosario or Tim Anderson? So I think
Ahmed
I'll probably-
Rosario. He's the top shortstop on the front market. No?
I mean,
Would you like to place another bet, Herb?
What are we talking about this year? Or are we talking about total contract?
We can.
We're talking total contract.
I
It's
would
not even close. Ahmed Rosario is signing a multi-year deal.
bet
Tim might only sign a 1-year deal.
AAV. Tim Anderson will sign a more lucrative contract based on annual average value than
What
Ahmed
odds you
Rosario.
giving me?
That will happen.
Straight up?
Just 1 versus 1.
All right, $10. $10.
Can't wait.
My guy, Ahmed
$110 from Herb.
Give me my $10 back, so I'm $90 in the hole.
Ahmed Rosario is going to make like $6 million going back to Cleveland.
Herb, your slow climb back to breaking even.
Just need to win. You just need to go 10-0.
$10 at a time.
All right, so I guess it seems like Robert Cease, Aloy. Oh, we're on Crochet versus Bummer. I think Bummer's major league experience puts him over Crochet.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Herb. I think you get 2v1 here.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. We'll make it democratic here. So then I think the other one is Sheets versus Colás. Who has more value? I know none of them are valuable. So don't take.
Colás,
I mean,
Herb had Sheets above him.
I did, but Colás still has people thinking maybe he can do some things. Sheets, we've seen him play at the major league level for, 3 years now?
Yeah, there's like a 4-year age
and
difference.
it's never been real.
I don't think
been real.
I don't think you can get anything for either of those guys right now.
That's not the point.
I
That's not the show.
I think Colás, because he hasn't shown that he is a washout in the major leagues. And I don't necessarily think that Gavin's a washout, but he's not. He's pretty much a 4A player. And that's what he's going to be. At least there's a future that some other team can see, even the White Sox, can see him going to the majors as last year to contribute for a team in right field. The arm is live. Okay. At least you could say that about Oscar Colás. You can't say that about Gavin Sheets.
I think you got us to 8. Do you have 9 and 10?
Sarah, can you flash the graphic one more time? In the top 10, the people that I didn't have in there already, I guess it would be
Corey Lee.
I guess it would be Santos and Benintendi.
What? Who else you putting ahead of Benintendi?
All those other players are minor league players.
Yeah.
Who is taking Andrew Benintendi?
All those other players are minor league players. I'm not saying that these trades are going to happen. You're asking me which of these players would other teams want more than the other. You would want a guy who's been in the major leagues and had success in the major leagues over Lenine Sosa, Zach Remillard, Romy Gonzalez. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Andrew Benintendi's an all-star too, Sean.
That's true.
I know you get mad at it.
That's true.
But he is. And people would check for Andrew Benintendi.
Corey Lee had
Not a lot.
Corey Lee had 5 hits last year, Sean.
No one's checking for Corey
Andrew
Lee.
Benintendi had 5 home runs.
That's true. All right. So
You double that home run gun.
I guess Andrew Benintendi cannot be 16, unfortunately. And honestly, he's not he's better than Gavin Sheets. All right, I'll take that step.
Wow.
I don't think
Big of you.
I don't
It
think
is big of
anybody.
me.
I don't think anybody's in a silo where the only player the White Sox are trading is Gavin Sheets. You're not getting anything in return because they'll just wait for you to DFA him,
Yes.
and they'll just pick him up if they want to put him in on their AAA team.
Is Zach Remillard the least valuable?
No, on that list,
Yeah.
Lenine Sosa.
Really?
I think
Lenine Sosa's like 6 years younger.
Yeah,
I
What-
think
Zach
it's Zach
Remillard.
Remillard, yeah,
Why
because
do you hate
he's
Lenine?
He hasn't done anything.
this is a good story that
What is Remillard done?
he's a bunt guy, and yes, we're going to do that movie. with
Remillard
Zach
had that one
Remillard, too.
game. That one game in Seattle.
Oh boy! All right,
He's got an MLB record.
so Lenine Sosa is getting bagged at 15, I guess.
Remillard would be lower. You're right.
So is Corey Lee? Is Corey Lee above or below Benintendi?
Below.
Okay.
What does he do?
I'm just trying. What does Benintendi do?
He's done something in the major leagues.
So
lot
he's
in
living
the
off
major
past
leagues.
performance.
At least there is a past performance.
There's people checking for him and saying, okay, we've seen what he
Again,
has done, and he's
There's
not that old.
future
Sean.
potential.
They're not trading any of these guys. You could cut that
know.
list off at 8.
I know, but it's a
Yes.
lot boring of a show. If we, all right, let's cut it off at 8. All right, goodbye, everybody. We're going to talk about Rookie of the Year now.
The movie?
I love that movie. It's a fantastic movie.
Who doesn't?
All right, let's try to clean this up. All right, so Robert 1, Cease 2, Aloy 3, Skopek 4.
Sure.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. 5, I had Santos. It seems like you guys want to put Moncada.
I would put Moncada there.
Yes.
Okay.
Moncada.
Moncada's 5. 6, Bummer.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Is Crochet or Vaughn more valuable?
Crochet for me. Because, like I said, Vaughn's just a run-of-the-mill first baseman. Who's trading for that?
It's a good
Who's
question.
trading
I would
for
have to say
Garrett
I would
Crochet?
probably say Vaughn at the end of the day.
Thank you.
I'd probably say Vaughn.
I'll put Crochet at 8. So Robert, Cease, Aloy, Kopech, Moncada, Bummer, Vaughn, Crochet. Number 9, I guess, would be Santos.
Yeah.
Do you want to defend Benintendi?
No, I'm fine. Santos works.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry we're doing this exercise.
It works. I'm fine with Santos to get 9.
All right. And then I guess 11 for Colás, 12 for Sheets.
Colás over Benintendi.
No,
No, he put
Benintendi's 10.
Benintendi 10.
Oh, he put Benintendi 10.
Yeah,
All right.
reluctantly.
So Santos 9, Benintendi 10, Colás 11, Sheets 12, Sosa 15, Remillard 16. Who am I missing? Oh, Corey Lee. Yeah, we'll put Corey Lee definitely below Sosa. I don't know who else I'm missing. I guess.
Romy?
Oh, Romy.
He's over there with Corey Lee. It doesn't matter. Just in a bunch. Just 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
Right.
17,
Okay.
18,
All
19.
right. We'll
It's
put
like the old
Romy
Gilligan's
13.
Island. And the rest.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Hey, and Connor mentions Remolard's OPS plus was 69. Nice. TA's was 60. So, woof. We'll publish this and post it on social media, and just to prove that we're so much better than baseball trade values. Let's take a break, and then we'll wrap this up. Want to let you know about our friends over at FOCO. None of the bobbleheads that are on the table right now are FOCOs, but the ones behind Herb are. I think the one, basically Angel Devil here.
Yeah.
Which one's which? So TA's the angel on your right shoulder, and Southpaw's the devil.
Almost literally an angel.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, you're right.
See what happened?
The rumor. I thought you were making
A
a
Los
dark-
Angeles Angel.
I thought it was a grim joke from Herb
This guy,
Lawrence.
oh, yeah, I'm not killing TA.
And then,
They should change their name to the Orange County Angels. Just because they're always got different names, you know?
why is red the color they picked?
Red. Because you're saying that's a devilish color.
Kind of.
They can't just go all white.
They've
That'd be
always
weird.
been red a little.
Right, but I kinda
sometimes
like
they have a sliding scale of how much blue they have, but yeah,
Some gold.
always have had some red.
But no, if they do Orange County, they could
They'd be orange.
go into orange, yeah.
Oh, they need a complete rebrand.
But is that too construction-y, less angelic?
No, orange and green, the colors of oranges.
Okay.
They get the little
California.
leaves. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I got you.
They could have an orange hat, a hat with an orange on it.
That'd be pretty sick.
An orange with, a halo. Oh,
You found everything
oh
out.
my God! Let's call Artie Moreno right now.
Vinny's going to go into rebranding of teams. Want to let you know about FOCO. Get fitted in the best sports gear around. They got hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. They donated the lovely TA and Southpaw bobbleheads, and you could go check out FOCO.com. That's FOCO.com, or click the link in the description below. For all non-presale items, use the promo code CHGO for 10% off, like the Woo Pig Suey bobblehead for Andrew Benintendi, who is the 10th most valuable player on the White Sox, according to our trade values. So go to FOCO.com, FOCO.com. Do you want to tell us about the beer that Herb's drinking?
Boy, do I. Sean,
Vinny.
the other day, I had to sit down on the couch, and I had to watch the season finale of Loki. And what do you want to do when you're watching an important Marvel television program, but you need something in your right hand to keep it cool? You need something to drink to quench your thirst. So I reached into the fridge, rummaged around, and what did I pull out? A 312.
Nice.
A goose. Because, of course, I wanted to have a honkingly good time while I was watching my television show. That's been Chicago's beer since 1988, has Goose Island, as you know. They support us here at CHGO, and you can get many various delicious kinds of beer. In addition to my favorite, the 312, Herb is going double fisting over here. He's got the 312 and the, what do we got there? The juicy beer hug. Of course, there's a whole family of beer hugs, but you can get the Oktoberfest, the full pocket pills. That's what the brewers are drinking over at Goose.
In Milwaukee?
No, Sean, no. In Fulton Market in Westtown, and you can visit.
Navarro.
You can visit it over there. That's the tap room over there on Fulton Street in Westtown, or go to the original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park. So that's where you can get all their beer if you want to sit down and have yourself a honkingly good time. Of course, you can get it at the Jewels and wherever else all the beer you get is sold. We love Goose Island. Go buy some and drink some.
Absolutely. It's always a good time, whether you're watching MAC football tonight or actually, I don't know what else is on TV. Probably you're watching MAC football. Most people watching.
Most people across America.
Yeah.
Western Michigan, Northern Illinois.
Bowling Green, Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What's Bowling Green's mascot?
The Falcons.
Falcons.
Can the Falcons cover 10 against the Rockets?
No.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. And I do want to give a shout-out to Connor, who's always sharing some fun stats. If you want to scroll up just a little bit here, Mark Buehrle's and Jon Lester's ERA plus is 117. Buehrle and Lester both 117 ERA plus. Buehrle, though, 59.1 WAR. Lester, 43.5.
Well,
So
you know that War loves the defense. Buehrle is flipping balls between his legs. Jon Lester couldn't throw to first for a very long time.
So if you're mentioning Jon Lester Hall of Fame,
He is.
I do expect you to be a bust for Buehrle guy this
got
offseason.
Jon Lester's got so many World Series rings. They would cover up his ring finger.
That counts.
Cool.
That does count.
Mark Buehrle.
Oh, but
has
there's
one-
no way to. But there's no stat about that, Herb.
There isn't.
There's no hilarious acronym that talks about that.
Jack Morris is in the Hall of Fame.
How many saves in the World Series does Jon Lester have?
Probably 3. I don't
How
know.
many? How many? How
He
many?
did everything in the
You
postseason.
should look it up.
I'm going to say he's done a lot in the postseason.
How many drunken saves does Jon Lester have?
I mean, you should
Probably.
look it up.
He probably.
Now,
I mean-
I'm a Buehrle for Hall of Fame myself, but if it's between those two, Lester is going in way before Mark Buehrle.
Yuck, you guys suck. No saves.
Are
0 saves. Bum. Jon Lester's
But
a
how many?
bum.
But how many innings? Postseason.
154.
That's a lot.
Yeah, good for him. He was on good teams.
And he performed.
And they were the reason he was good.
Mark
Or
Buehrle
he was the
wasn't
reason they were
bad.
good.
He only went.
No one's saying that
he
he
only went
is.
3 times.
And that's his fault. So, Mark Buehrle, you should have been a better general manager, you dumbass.
Be on a better team.
Anyways, that's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox podcast. That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him at Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. And I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you to Sarah for producing the show. Thank you to everyone for hanging out with us in the chat. And just to let you know, minimum of 2,500 pitches since 2022. Michael Kopech has the 4th lowest BABIP. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.